course, you're back on another journey to the real truth in life, and I am your host, none other than more than a conqueror. The reason why I'm doing this video, and as you can see, there's the time. Let's try to get a good time stamp. It's almost 1 o'clock in the morning, and your boy's been traveling a whole lot. I got off from work Thursday, and I had to leave Chicago and drive all the way down south. Ended up traveling through Arkansas to Monroe, Louisiana, and now I'm back. I'm here in Little Rock, Arkansas, actually. I'm traveling back toward Chicago because I'm supposed to report back to work on Monday at 11. But we're about to go live. Before I get to the events that led up to me pressing record, I want to just turn your attention to this van right next to me. This is you can see the antennas on top. We're going to get out and take a real good look at it, because of course they were sending some sort of frequencies out of this van toward me, and I wanted to have it documented. All black windows, white van, all black tires, all black windows on the back, and then there's the there's the tags on the van, and then of course this perp next to me. I was actually parked back there, but I could feel the radiation, and you see the antennas on the top, full government surveillance. This is the harassment that I get 24/7, and they can do it indirectly. No windows at all black tires, all black windows, even on the front. And I don't know if you can see that. I'm going to try to zoom in on it. But there's that black American flag, that POW flag, that is synonymous with making it known that targeted individuals are indeed prisoners of war. I was driving, and of course followed as usual 24/7, being harassed, unable to interact with family, former friends due to the character assassination, social dissimulation, counterintelligence program. If you're unfamiliar with that, brief summary is back in the 1950s and 60s, there was a federally tax-funded program through the FBI and the CIA, racist program targeted toward the civil rights movement and the black communities and organizations. This program would take the unity within the black community, which is nearly non-existent at this point, and they would cause dissension, division, and so forth by the spreading of lies, false leaflets, forging false letters, forcing someone's name on it, putting out false information to members within the group in order to cause contentions, arguments, things of that nature. In the more extreme cases, you have the assassinations of the leaders, such as Dr. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Fred Hampton, and so forth, of the Black Panther Party. These are actual facts, and you can go look at the congressional court hearings that took place in the 1970s as the classified seals were broken. What I am speaking is fact. I don't care if you're black, white, brown, or yellow. Truth cannot be argued against. So there you have it. like then it says Miss Parker on the side. This is too funny. But yeah, they pulled up, parked, and immediately I started feeling the you know, frequencies, and as you can see, this vehicle in front with Texas tags just gave them the signal. I'm gonna keep my camera on it real quick to see if they do it again. But with the Texas tags, NMH 9029 white Texas tags is what we have here in with that vehicle. Of course, I have a little residue built up on my window because it is a little chilly outside, and I've pulled over to park and save gas. So apologize if the view through the window isn't too great. But getting back to the point, counterintelligence is a real thing. It never discontinued. It continues to this very moment. And you're looking at the proof. Tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars is literally being spent on your boy, and have been spent on your boy for well over a decade. These are actual facts, social dissimulation. They actually falsified information, spreading lies, rumors, denying court cases, which I've been trying to pursue for quite some time for compensatory and punitive damages due to unlawful actions, as well as physical terrorism and behaviors, poisoning, druggings, threatenings, and much, much more sinister, unbelievable, disgusting, maniacal behavior funded by your United States federal government, who subcontract out their criminality. There you go. See, they've been sitting there, pretended like they were asleep, but as soon as your boy got out and started recording, they went live. So I have no reason to lie, hold back nothing. I step out into the light. Anyone who walks in truth, is dropping that truth, comes to the light. This is scripture. Someone who's doing maniacal, evil, twisted things, they tend to do things very, secretively in the dark. And this is how they get away with it. That's just a caveat I wanted to insert there. So I've been trying to get into a court case where these things can be fully exposed and examined, cross-examined into the light. But COINTELPRO is a racist, real situation that did exist and continue to exist. It's almost like when I was growing up with the cereal. If you got a box of cornflakes back then, it was just a plain old box of cereal. Little to no animation on the box. You may have had the little Phoenix Rooster symbol, and it just said cornflakes. Nowadays, if you go pick up a box, it looks bright, brilliant. It may have kids playing on it, something that is eye candy, eye catchy. Still, when you open up that package, that box, and pour it out, you get that same old dry box of cornflakes. And this is what they've done. They've repackaged the counterintelligence program underneath the name of counterterrorism. Let's see what else. Threat assessment. What else? There's many different aliases, but I just woke up literally 2 minutes before I pressed the record button after that, so it's not coming off the top of my head as it normally would if I was functionably woke. So, here we are, and there's the cavalry. Anytime you see these campers pulling in, be very wary of that. Sponsored by your Department of Defense and subcontracted. But anyway, getting back to the subject, if I have not lost you yet, hopefully we can just get back to the point and have a even flow. So the counterintelligence program, now underneath the auspices of counterterrorism, national security, OSHA threat assessments, things of that nature, which disguise their racist criminality under a different name and repackage it and remarket it and sell it as something else, have manifested, particularly in your boy's life and many other so-called Afro-Americans' lives, which they're truly Israelites. Also, the IE, that's another name, Black Identity Extremists, which I'm at the top of that list for going around and actually proving through the Holy Scriptures and through historical texts that we are indeed the nation of Israel. The so-called Afro-American black man and black woman is indeed. So your flashlight cop, as you can see. Hey, look, if they tell you your boy's not a real TI, it gets no realer. You're seeing it live. They're kind of weary because I was parked in the back, and when they started hitting me with the directed energy weapons, and you can see the satellites and the antennas on the top of this thing, so it's really souped up. It must have at least 4 or 5 12-volt batteries on this thing in order to run this sort of equipment. And I wish I could get a better picture of it, but it's so dark out here. Long story short, counterintelligence, counterterrorism underneath a different name, new package, shelved and marketed and sold to the public, and people are eating it up, hook, line, sinker, because they give them gift cards, maybe a new car, maybe help them get a home or something. People that I know personally that I could put the names out, I am not going to, though, are definitely eating off this program, and quite a few people are upset at your boy because I exposed how the program is funded and how these defense budgets, the national defense budget, are sectioned out for it's misappropriation of funds. It's cesspool of what's the word that I'm looking for? There's a legal term for it, but it's just not coming to me right now. So please excuse your boy if the message isn't as clear and precisely directive as it normally would be. So the a fiscal year, at the beginning or the end of the fiscal year, the United States budget is tallied up. That means that the money allotted to certain things such as health care, defense, infrastructure, education, etc., is divided and allotted and given out, proportioned out every single year. The largest of these, correct me if I'm wrong, is the national defense budget. The Department of Defense get the biggest portion. The United States spends more money on its defense budget than any other country in the world, and I believe only followed far behind is number 2 China, and then number 3 Russia. Well, with that United States defense budget, you have foreign and then you have domestic defense divisions. The domestic defense division budget have been growing essentially over the past few years, post 9/11, and that money, which is in the tens of billions of dollars, you can actually go look that up on US.gov. Last time I checked, which was a few years ago, it was somewhere over $60 billion. And you can be more specific just by Googling domestic defense budget. Nonetheless, how is that money spent? Your boy got very specific in educating people on it. The criminality and what we call gangstalking and the disbursements of fund is then subcontracted out. So, for example, I am an independent contractor as a truck driver. I subcontract out. I receive money by contracting to companies, and then that's how I get my money for the particular work that I do as a commercial driver professionally. Well, these private security firms, which are corporations, if you don't understand what a corporation is, a brief lesson is a corporation differs from other business in the aspects that there are shareholders, and as the profit or the productivity, gross productivity of the business grows, then the shareholders, which are people that invest, they're investors into the corporation, their money grows off entrance. And so that means that it is profitable for these private security firms that receive money allotments, which are indeed their corporations. Gangstalking is a business. They receive the money, and the more names that they throw on there, the more people they can get on that budget, the more the entrance rate grows, right? So them doing this, is guaranteeing that they get another big budget at the end of the next fiscal year. The more people are thrown on the list, the higher their entrance rate grows, and so forth. So these companies are basically, what do you call it? If you know the word, please say it. But when you have a business that's developed off fraud, and it's a criminal, it has a criminal context to it, like a criminality context to it. There's a word, and I can't think of it. Oh, God. Anyway, yeah, this is live, so excuse me. If you know the word, I may post it in the description box below if it comes back to me later on. But, yeah, that's pretty much it. So your boy get gang stalked to Little Rock, pulls over because I'm tired. Drove from Chicago to Monroe, coming back through Arkansas, stopped at, and I'm in my personal vehicle, stopped in Little Rock, Arkansas, and started getting hit with these weapons that are developed for non-touch torture, surveillance, radiation, microwave, radar type weapons. Wakes me up out of my sleep, and of course start recording, and there's a federal van right there with windows you can't even see through. I've gotten out, walked around it, even in the front. You cannot see through the windows, and there's the POW flag on the side. You saw the tags. They're not real, but yeah. Knew it was coming because I went into the restroom. There was an old black man, and he was a gang-stalking black man. So black people are in on it too, even though, yes, affecting the black community more so than anyone. Yes, white people are thrown on it, Hispanic, Asian, because guess what? If you're white and you're watching this video, believe it is 1 Timothy chapter 1 verse, 1 Timothy chapter 6 verse 10. Go check that. And I may be off, but I believe it's 1 Timothy chapter 6 verse 10 off the top of my head. It says, for the love of money is the root of all evil. For the love of money is the root of all evil. So if you're watching, these people are getting greedy. $1 isn't enough. They need two. Then eventually 2 is not enough. They need 4. Eventually they need 400, 4,000. They need it all. What do that mean, and how do that relate to you? Even though this program did essentially start off targeting the black community majorly, whites are a growing population on that list. Why? Because the commodity of blacks are being destroyed. 75,000 black women have already come up missing. Countless amounts of men, especially through the privatized prison corporations, have already been eliminated. And very few of us are out here as endangered species operating independently. It's a get down or lay down mentality. That's a gangster mentality. With this particular program, and a lot of black men are in on it, and guess what? A lot of white people are now being victimized and thrown on the list as well. So their entrance rates on those shares will continue to rise. So yes, this should be a concern for you, because it's turning from racism to just all out free for all. And like I was about to say, as just kind of ran at this point, the black man in the bathroom, the gang stalker, pretending to be a truck driver, he got mad at me like, a gang recognized game, because, trying to indirectly have a conversation, because they can never have a direct conversation with you, due to the fact that it disguises its criminality underneath classified and clandestine secrecy operations. This is consistency with the book of Daniel, chapter 8, verse 25. Go read what I'm telling you for yourself. If you're a believer, there is policies through the Antichrist policies. These are legislations and acts that are passed, executive orders that are passed. Through that, he causes craft to prosper. Go Google the word crafty, crafty. Crafty is to achieve one's means or intentions by indirect and duplicit and deceptive means. And this is what it does, and it also mentions secrecy, sly, undercover, underhanded, and this is what they're doing. Hegelian dialectic is what it's called in the Masonic. It means create the problem, wait for the emotional and public behavioral reaction, implement the solution, which is really the desired outcome that you've wanted all along. This is how you achieve your means, by indirect, duplicit behavior, very consistent with the word of truth. We are living out end time prophecy, and if you don't know the word, if you don't have that oil of understanding in your lamp, which is the word of truth, go read the book of Psalms, chapter, I believe is chapter 119, verse 105. That's Psalms 119, verse 105. Go check that out. It says, your word of truth is a lamp unto my feet. You won't be able to see how to walk through this life. You know the parable of the 5 wise and the 5 foolish virgins. Some had the lamps, they had the word. Oh, I know the word, but you don't have an understanding of it. If you don't have the oil of understanding, then according to those lamps, you can't see end time prophecy being fulfilled. But until next time, it is your boy. This is definitely the journey to truth in life. And as always, stay woke. If you're not woke, wake up and be blessed.